This is SonicGoon, coach of the Weyard Wailord for SKL Season 9. So, for this season, we're doing a Gen 6 draft, and I didn't really know what I was doing. This is obviously like my first time really getting into Gen 6. I didn't get back into competitive after a long break until like Gen 7, around the time that Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is about to come out. So, I didn't really know what I was doing. Big note about this generation is that almost nothing has defog, and there's very few good spinners. Just removal in general is just scarce, and that was just a theme across everyone's draft. Everyone's team just has bad removal, or just has ways of just not caring about hazards by not drafting Pokemon that are quad weak to rocks, or weak to spikes, or shut down by toxic spikes. Also for this draft, I think I had a pretty bad pick number, as I think ninth is tied for the worst with 8th pick in a 16-man draft. It's just because you're kind of just waiting for you're not getting like the best picks ever, and you're just kind of just in the middle. Whereas like the best picks are like first pick and then last pick, because you get those wheels, so you can always get those two mons and make a nice core all the time. So I feel like it just, as the closer you are to wheel, the better you are. The better off you are not getting sniped. Um, so going into this draft, my entire plan was just kind of draft a little weird, because I know I'm not going to get great things, so I'm just going to have to get the next best thing all the time. So my first pick of this draft was Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash is not as great as it is in later generations because it doesn't have defog. So that's one of the things that I really wish it could do here, but it just can't, unfortunately. Luckily, it can still do basically everything else. I don't think it has Nasty Plot yet either. I think that was specifically a Gen 8 thing. But it can do basically the roles of like a bulkier but more offensive, yet with less HP Lantern. It has, Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Hydro Pump, Volt Switch. So it's very much giving me that nice momentum. Also, I drafted Rotom Rush first just because I think that it can kind of fit with anything, and I didn't really know what I wanted. And I also just kind of pretty much realized that if I wanted to commit to something that was like Tier 1, that the best partner for that could go very easily because everyone's gunning for those Tier 1 Pokemon. So I was like, I'm just going to go for what I think is probably one of the best Tier 2s, because no one's going to go for that first. And then find what's best left to pair with it later. So I need something to complete Volturn, and just when I got back to my pick, Mega Scizor is still there. So I went for Mega Scizor round 2. It completes the core of Volturn, so this is my U-turn user. Unlike Rotom, this Pokemon always had defog, so thank God. Mega Scizor's role is defog, basically, and then click Bull Punch, because even uninvested Bull Punch with 150 base attack just, oh my god, is still strong as hell. Um, this is just very versatile, because I can run bulky, I can run just pure defensive utility, or I could just go pure offense. This mod can kind of just do everything that regular Scizor can do, but it's locked into one item, which means it's great for like knockoff switching, because it can just roost back all the damage it takes no matter what. Anyway, so just overall really good Pokemon. Also, to put in the note, Psychic Terrain does not exist in this generation, which is, that means no Tapu Lele, no Indeedee, just that just makes Scizor so much more of a threat, because now there's literally nothing stopping my Bullet Punch from going through, unless you're like a fake out user, in which case you're faking out a Steel type. Congrats, you did 2 damage. Um, so really, now I'm just kind of looking at my team, and just like, I need something that can take Fire type attacks a little bit more consistently, because Rotom doesn't have Recover. He only has Pain Split, so I need something that can consistently switch into Fire types. And when it got back to my pick again, a mon that I thought would have been gone already was still sitting there, and that was Heatran. Heatran is one of the most phenomenal Pokemon ever created. I don't think this Pokemon has ever been bad. It's been OU like every single generation since Diamond Pearl Platinum, and it's done almost the exact same role every single generation. And when it comes back in Gen 8, it's going to be OU, and it's going to be like A tier, S tier in OU. I'm not even kidding. It will. it just will do that. Obviously, in Gen 8, there's more competition against it because Scorching Sand exists, but this mon's stupid. Um, it can just do a lot. Rocks, trapping, sweeping, dedicated fire switching, as I mentioned before. It's so good. I've drafted this before. The first time I drafted this, I didn't use it as well because I was trying to more not take advantage of its versatility. But as I keep drafting it and getting better and better using this versatility, this Pokemon's dumb. And then sometimes you're just like, I'll just bring Scarf Heatran, and that thing will always win because this mon's dumb. Um, yeah, Heatran's is good no matter what you do, no matter what team it's on, it's always pretty much good. You just have to care about the ground weakness. So, speaking of ground weakness, my 4th round pick, I decided to go jump right into tier 3 and quickly grab Nidoking. Nidoking is a threat. I don't know why it has 102 attack. It never uses a physical attack move ever. I've never seen a physical Nidoking in my life. You might. I might actually innovate on that. Who knows? But Nidoking's dumb. It has the coverage of literally everything. I'm pretty sure it learns a lot of the types. I don't think it learns a fairy move. That's about it. But I think it learns dragon moves. I think it learns ground, poison, electric, ice, fire, grass. I don't think does it learn a water move. Oh well, it doesn't matter. This mon's dumb. Um, Sheer Force Life Orb on literally every single attack that you have that abuses Sheer Force is stupid. It also can just run Scarf and Sheer Force boosted attacks still hit like a damn truck. This mon's just known for being stupid, and that's why I kind of drafted it, because it's the one Pokemon that you always just don't want to prep for. It's the one Pokemon that you're just like, because then you prep so hard for it, and then you just don't bring it because it's slow. But it's not even really that slow. Base 85 is pretty fine as a speed tier, because you can either just run it bulky and then just have it nuke everything on switch in, or you just have it run fast and now it outspeeds your entire team. So it's like great. And I'm just thinking, man, like I really just want to get rid of certain Pokemon on my field, because I'm just looking at my team just like, things kind of have a hard time. Just like if there's one mon that kind of just that's a problem that I don't really get rid of immediately. So I was just kind of like, might as well. So I went with round 5 Dugtrio. I'm just kind of stacking ground, but I think ground's like top 5 types in the game. It's like even back in Gen 6, this type is so good. And Dugtrio is also fast, base 120 speed. That fixes my speed problem for a little bit. But like, there's still a huge gap because my next fastest mon is Nidoking at base. Actually, no, it's Run and Wash at base 86. So really, I'm just kind of slow. But Dugtrio just kind of comes in and traps whatever I'm kind of just struggling against and kills it and removes it from the field. And it's a very good, tool to have. That's kind of the reason why this Pokemon's been basically banned in every single like meta except for DPP and Advance, I think. Just because Arena Trap's dumb, and this can just kind of just swing games in your favor so easily. It also is like a emergency rocker if I needed to. And it's actually kind of decent as like a support mon, because it has like fast toxic, and then like pursuit option is really nice to have. Just trapping anything that wants to switch out and just getting that last little bit of damage in. So next I really wanted to get something kind of just wall break, because like sure Nidoking can punch holes, but like if it resists the moves that Nidoking has, then it's like, oh well. So I need something that could just kind of click one thing, and it doesn't matter what if it resists or not, because it's still going to do a lot of damage. So I wanted Staraptor. I love Staraptor. It's my favorite bird. The Route 1 birds. My favorite bird obviously being like Honchkrow, but Honchkrow sucks. But this mon is just so good, because either you run it bulky, which is really weird that it can do that, but in monotype meta, it could run bulky with Intimidate, and now it can defog and be an actual support mon. So this actually helps with my hazard removal, because I can just bust out the monotype set, and it could do pretty well. even without much investment, Brave Bird still nukes things. This mon is just very strong, and if I really want to be a huge, just nuke, I run Reckless, Banded, Brave Bird, and kill things from the game. Uh, and it's also a fast mon, so now this kind of fixes the speed gap I have between Rotom Wash and Dugtrio with a nice space 100 speed. But I'm still a little bit slow, so I'm just kind of worrying about that. Also, I'm just kind of looking at my team and just like, I really want something that can consistently deal with like setup. So like if I don't have to, you know, I don't have to like come up with some weird jank. I just have a mon that's consistently good at setup countering. So round 7, I went with Whimsicott. Whimsicott, man, this would have been a phenomenal pick if this was Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, because this thing doesn't have defog and it's so sad. If this had defog, this would have been like one of the best picks of my entire life, but no. But it's still very good. 116 speed is really phenomenal whenever I'm not clicking a status move, but in general I'm clicking a status move. Also, since this is Gen 6, this is unnerfed Prankster, so literally nothing can stop me from clicking a Prankster boosted status move other than being immune to whatever I click. So if he sends in like a grass type, I can't click like Spore or Leech Seed. I don't think this thing has Spore, but like you get what I mean. Like it has so many less switch-ins now. Obviously, this also means that like this is another Pokemon that like kind of goes through my entire team's theme, where like it can kind of just do anything. Cause like sure I can run it support, like I probably most likely will every single week I bring it, but there's also that option of like just running like Specs Moonblast, because Fairy is a broken type, but this Pokemon just kind of annoying. It also is another Pokemon with U-turn, so now I just have now at this point I have 3 U-turn users and 1 Volt Switch user, and all of these Pokemon have all the U-turn users have other moves that can like punish anything that they want to switch on U-turn instead and just blow things away. And going into the next round, I'm kind of thinking I need something I can kind of just set up sweep like consistently, but then also have like some utility in the back in case I don't need the setup sweep. And Clisser, yeah, this mon's stupid. It's a steal in round 8. Shell Smash sweeps across the board. Most teams, this mon's dumb. It also has Rapid Spin, one of the few Pokemon I think I would actually consider a good Rapid Spinner, just because 180 defense is ridiculous, and also like you switch in your Ghost type to block the spin, and then I go for Shell Smash, and then you lose. So it also surprisingly it gets spikes and T spikes. I didn't know that it got T spikes. I only knew that it had spikes. So I actually do have 2 T spikes users in Nidoking and Cloyster, which are really nice to have. Um, Water Ice is just a really good typing in general. Uh, Being weak to rock sucks, but like can't really do anything about that in this meta because you don't have boots and there's nothing really there. And I also just like this mon because it forces prep, so you're always going to have to run something to deal with a setup sweeper, and then I could just run like Toxic Stall, and then you're just screwed. So overall, I just really like Cloyster here. I didn't really draft. I was really just more focused on getting something I can remove, but also just do other more memes. So yeah. And now for my next 2 picks, I actually didn't draft these, but these were traded immediately after the draft was done. So my next pick was originally Drapion, but someone else in the draft, accidental, he wanted Drapion, and I didn't. And this is when I learned that Cloyster got T spikes, because he's like, well, Drapion doesn't really work, because all it does is Drapion didn't really work, because all it did was give me another ground weakness and give me a 3rd T spike setter, which I just didn't need, because you rarely set up T spikes anyway. Why do you need 3 setters? And I was like, wait, I only have 1. And then he's like, no, you have Cloyster. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Got it. Okay, we should probably trade. So I went with Zoroark because I needed a dark type. Mostly because if you look at my team, I kind of struggle with like fast psychic types or just really strong psychic types such as Alakazam, Mega Alakazam. They kind of just ran through my team. So I'm just kind of worried about them. And like if Megazord isn't running offensive, they can probably just win. Um, Zoroark's kind of hard to use just because you have the illusion ability, so you have to be basically playing like you're a different Pokemon, kind of hiding who you are until the right time to strike and reveal that I am this Zoroark, and then you just kind of kill things. Luckily, this Pokemon does learn enough moves that it can probably get away with like pretending that this is a Staraptor, because like U-turn or like a lot of the U-turn users that can pretend to be just to attract those Pokemon to click moves, and then I just let Zoroark just kind of blow them away. Um, and also can run mixed, so something that I could just mix it up on. But mostly it's just here because it's a dark type, and it's pretty fast, 105 speed. So now I think my speed tiers are pretty set in stone. I'm not really particularly fast, but not particularly slow, so I'm just kind of safe all around. And the next pick I picked in the 2 Pokemon trade I had with Accidental, I got Articuno. Obviously, I had to trade it for another tier 5, so my tier 5 pick was Haunter. Haunter surprisingly synchronizes so well with my team. Alright, I have 2 T-Spike setters, so that's more hazards. I have Whimsicott, Prankster Sunspore, so now I have freaking Paralysis, and then I have Rotom Wash with Will-O-Wisp. Those are all statuses. Haunter with Hex is going to go ham this season. I feel like this Pokemon is just really underrated. Like, sure, it's very fragile and kind of just dies at any sucker punch, but like 95 speed's not pretty damn fast for a not fully evolved Pokemon with Levitate and then 115 special attack. If I get any strong hexes off, that's just going to destroy any team. This Pokemon's really strong. It's basically it is bootleg Gengar, and man, I just love Haunter. I wish I missed the fact that in the older games it had the little red ore around his hands. But yeah, this Pokemon's really strong. There's not really much you can say about Tier 5 other than this is just a good value pick. Um, and, it's fragile, but, like, I have such a bulky team. So, like, why bother, like, worrying about the fragility? Like, oh, if it gets Pursuit Trapped, it's a Haunter. Like, that's what it kind of is, its weakness. Um, so my last pick, I was kind of just looking at my team, just like there's not really much I can add to this other than like typing. So literally, I only had 2 Pokemon that I was looking at, which was Medicham and Gallade, and Medicham sucks, so I went with Gallade. Um, Gallade is kind of here, as I said before, but like type wise, it really does synergize with my team. Well, I don't have a fighting type or a psychic type at this point, so I really appreciate having a good fighting switch in. Um, and oddly enough, it's basically just a bootleg version of its Mega, but it's pretty slow, base 80 speed, so that's like something you have to consider. But like 125 attack is insane, and this mon has so many crazy moves. So like psychic and fighting as a like offensive stab is just really really solid. It also has like really weird niche moves. Like I'm pretty sure it has Wish still at this point in the game, and it's not a later edition. I could be wrong, but Wish is definitely something I can like do. I could also like sub bulk up, which is just really nice, or even run like sub cult mind if I really wanted to meme. But it's just a solid mon, and it's just kind of here. Like I doubt I'm really going to be bringing this because I don't really have any plans for this. It's just kind of there, and yeah. So to give like an overall summary of my team, I think it's pretty fine. Like, obviously, I wish I had a little bit slower mons because, like, if someone brings like a Trick Room team, I'm kind of screwed. My slowest mon is Cloyster at base 70, so I'm kind of just like screwed if they run Trick Room. So I'm gonna have to worry about that and bring like Taunt on a bunch of Pokemon if I ever run into a Trick Room team. But like another thing that I'm really glad about is that I didn't really draft a team weak to rocks. The only like mons weak to rocks on my team are Staraptor and Cloyster. So like I don't really have to worry about hazard removal as much as other teams might have to deal with. And like I have the grounded poison to deal with T spikes, and then I have like a bunch of levitate mons and flying mons to deal with the um, deal with spikes. So I really just don't really worry about hazards all that much on this team. So overall, I think this is just a very solid team. I look forward to learning Gen 6 meta. Alright, take care.